Hey guys, Dan here, and back with Melissa and Tim, which can only mean we are about to tackle the sixth and final season of The Wonder Years, the original series. This took place 92 to 93. Hello.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Tim, you've been on my show a little more recently than Melissa.
And last one we did was Resume.
Yeah, that's
True,
right.
We're back in person.
Yeah, so we're back in person for the final season here. And we were trying to get this out before the end of the year, but that certainly was not happening with everything going on. But we're here to talk about it. So these episodes I have seen about 2 months ago, about a month ago for you, but you caught up a little more. Okay, but you caught up. Tim, it's even been a few weeks, I think. Yeah. All right, now this was Tim's least favorite thing that we've ever done. He hates this show. He said it was homework watching all the episodes.
Sometimes it felt like homework.
But now we're done.
Now we're done. Yep.
We saw. All right, so unlike some of the other seasons, I don't think we're necessarily going to go strict episode by episode here, because we're also going to do kind of a series wrap at the end. But obviously, there's some important things to discuss. And certainly the season premiere is one of the most intense episodes of the series. This is where Wart comes back from Vietnam and has a bunch of PTSD, and what we know about Vietnam is people were not really seen as heroes at the time, and got a lot of grief from people. So very, very intense episode, and a great Wayne episode. Tim, I know you love a good Wayne.
I feel like this was a great Wayne season.
Yes, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Wayne this season.
Well,
there's so many.
he grew a
Wayne
lot.
episodes.
Yeah.
He grew a lot, and Karen is no longer on the show, so he sort of took over the older sibling part. But the maturity of Wayne this season, starting with this episode, he's done school, and we'll talk about some of the things he gets into throughout the season. But this was a real good mature Wayne episode.
Yeah, it's I would say it's probably one of the stronger openings to the seasons, besides the pilot episode for season 1.
Yeah, and what's funny is I guess most of them were like the summer vacation episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first
some
one
were
really
good.
started sort of during school.
Yeah.
Right.
Besides,
the
first one.
The other ones weren't bad. I'm just saying that this one was probably the best one besides the pilot.
Yeah,
episode.
it was certainly something different too.
Yeah, and I definitely starred it. It's one of my stars.
Ooh, okay. How many stars do we have, Tim?
I mean, I
3.
I have 2 like stars, and then 2 ones that were like I really connected to this.
Okay.
Or I thought they were done really well.
How about the minuses?
I don't think I have any.
All right, Melissa's got minuses already. We know
I
those.
feel like this was a lot more like I had every episode of maybe they had a great scene.
Yes.
But like I wasn't necessarily thrilled
with some things.
with any of I don't know if I had a bunch that I don't know.
Well, okay, I guess we should say for the overview. So this takes place in 11th grade.
Yes.
And going into the season, nobody was really positive if it was going to end or not. And about halfway through the season, the creators and the producers came to ABC and said, "Look, we think we kind of want to wrap this on this season. Kevin's sort of growing up; he's sort of getting out of his Wonder Years anyway at this point. We could do another season until they graduate high school, but we think we've told enough of the story that we should end it." And ABC said, "Sounds great," which I wish they would do
more
with
often.
some of the shows we've talked about. The Goldbergers has just gone on way, way, way too long. I think that's the comparison here because it takes place in the past. It's got the narration. It's same style a little bit, more comedic certainly, but should have ended about 3 years ago probably.
I really feel like this 6-season show is a real sweet spot.
Yeah. How often do we talk about all the shows? Friends is a classic example. Maybe 6 or 7 they could have wrapped it up there
and just had a really great ending. And Tim and I went and watched the last 5 minutes again, and I was just thinking like, this was a really good ending.
Yeah.
Like, even if I didn't love the whole 2-episode arc, I didn't necessarily love the but the end was so good. So,
Yeah.
They wrapped up pretty well.
I think that 6 is a sweet spot.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to look at other ones.
And we meet one of Kevin's new buddies, Giovanni Ribisi, who is like in the credits. I mean, they don't show his name, but like he's right next to Kevin in the class picture.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really close to when he was. I mean, this is only like a few years before he did Friends.
Yeah.
He's on the super
he
early
looks
season
pretty much the same here as he did
he
there.
was a high school student there as well when it started.
Right.
But I was just like, wow, I don't think of these two shows as being in the same era.
Yeah.
But
but think about it, right? This is 92, 93, and Friends started in 94,
right.
so
but he
kind of right there.
Was he in the first season?
I think
it was
the second.
Okay.
But it was, which still would have been 95.
He steals a condom that he puts in the...
yeah.
Is that in the first season, or is that in the second season, where he's not actually playing the brother?
Yeah.
Oh.
He puts a condom in the guitar case and then comes back and gets it.
Oh, I
He's
don't
not
even remember
technically
that.
playing the brother.
Okay.
And so there's,
Okay.
But I feel like he definitely looks
extra.
a little bit older in the Friends.
Oh,
like,
A
yeah.
little, but not much, I feel like. All right, so we actually, before we even get further in this, we should talk about the openings. Other than the changed music on Hulu, we've not really talked about the wonderful
Credits.
openings, and I don't remember a show where the opening credits got longer as the series went on. Season 4 or something, they added that extra couple of measures of the song to put more video in. But what a great opening credits. This last season they do sort of here's what was happening in the late 60s.
Current events.
Yeah.
Current events, Martin Luther King and the moon landing and all of that stuff. Which I thought was great as well, because it makes sense. I mean, at this point, are we really going to connect with the kids playing baseball when they're 12, when Kevin's 17 at this point?
Well, and I don't think they've done a lot of current event episodes this season,
No.
so it was a nice sort of
that's
little
true.
anchor to still kind of bring us back. Where are we? I mean, the Vietnam War is really our only...
Yeah, because at this point, we're in, 72, I guess, or 71? I'm trying to think.
Oh, gosh.
Moon landing was 69, right? And that was the first and second season. So I guess 70.
Really
we might be in
only
73, 74 now.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
This is 4 to 5.
Yeah.
Ish.
Somewhere in there.
So I mean, it kind of
Early
makes sense. What do we
70s.
know that happened in the 70s? Not a ton. We know a lot more about the late 60s. I feel like as a society, but
I mean, I get that. I did think it was kind of weird that they were still showing him playing baseball in the last season.
yes, it was.
But
it was a little much.
But they added some more.
Yes.
I kind of personally wish that they
Kept the same style.
kept the same style and just
Aged them.
and just updated it a little bit with new home videos.
New home videos.
Yeah,
I mean, that
guess
makes
that's-
more sense.
I guess that makes
this is
sense.
definitely odd. Now, when I watch these, aren't some of the scenes or some of the pictures and things, not all of them are current events. Aren't there a few besides the class photo that might be them? I can't remember.
No, I don't think
None?
so.
Okay.
No, you see the Olympics guys with the fists, and
okay.
we see the
You
I
see
thought there was
the
a
hippie-
small
the hippie
baby or
buzz.
something, and I was like,
the
is
first
this
one
them?
always
Or-
is the moon landing.
Yeah,
thing,
moon landing.
which for me always reminds me of MTV.
yeah, that's right. You're right,
I was
'cause that was their big thing.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I like they have the class photo.
Yeah.
I
and
think
they
it's
bring it
all
back
of their
to
little
that.
baby photos.
That's what I was
maybe.
going to say. Isn't
I
it their
think
baby
so.
photos are interspersed
Yeah.
in between?
Okay.
Because otherwise there's no reason to have those
Well,
babies.
and
So
the
I was
other
like, what are
thing
the
though
babies in
is
here?
a lot of the regulars are not in this season very much.
No,
Paul
if you
Paul
look
isn't in
at-
it much.
If you look at
So-
the thing, it tells you.
Yeah, it says who was in what.
Who's omitted
Yeah,
each time.
Danica McCallicker present for 19 episodes. That's good. But Josh Saviano was only in 10 episodes.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense to have all of these, let's have a cookout with Olivia Dabo, the Karen character.
No, when you
she
see her
hasn't been in the
for
series
one scene.
right
Yeah.
in 2 seasons.
Yeah, and some of the episodes that Paul was in, he's in one scene.
He's only in one scene.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah. I
I,
get,
I will say it was really rough to watch Paul not pulling away, but just really kind of becoming kind of a turd.
Yeah, there's some Paul
okay,
episodes
Paul,
I could
come
not actually get
on.
behind.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want him to be my, as he, I don't know if I'd want to be friends with him as an adult.
How about the poker episode?
I liked that episode.
But he was being annoying. He was being a turd.
Yeah.
All right, so great opening credits. We love them. I love the changes. All right, so next episode, fishing. Now that's a Jack, Kevin, and Wayne episode where they go fishing.
And we've been talking. Some of us have been watching the new Wonder Years.
Yes.
And there was a recent episode.
That's right, with the Scouts or whatever.
And I said, "Oh, we've got they're bringing in some fun little things."
Well, the one they just had last week on the new Wonder Years was the bar mitzvah.
Yes.
So
we had
that
bar
obviously
mitzvah, we had
leads
camping,
us back to some of these early episodes.
I've liked some of these.
Yeah.
If you're I'm still a fan. If you haven't seen the new Wonder Years, go check it out.
Yeah, we did a video about the pilot of that.
Yes, I feel like you're going to continue to see some nice nostalgia.
But this is one of the few episodes that Norma was not in. One of the few episodes in the entire series that she's not in. But she's usually the one kind of pushing them to do the things.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they didn't have her waving goodbye.
Yeah,
something when they're packing up.
Like, oh, you guys are going to enjoy your fishing trip or whatever. But yeah, for some reason, that did not happen. All right, but that was a good episode. Another good Jack Arnold episode.
Yeah. It was funny how it just got worse and worse and worse.
Oh my god! Yes. It was great comedy.
And they had a really great shot of from behind, the three of them looking at their campsite, and then they had they had the same exact shot of them looking at their burnt down tent and ruined campsite. So, the camera choices and the shot choices that they're using, they're still doing great things with that.
Yep, yeah, that was a good one.
I liked how extreme bad it got too, farcical.
Yeah,
this is
and then another standoff with Kevin and Jack.
Mm-hmm.
We've been getting more of those lately. All right, so scenes from a wedding. That's the one where the guy from the Breakfast Club hits on Norma. Hated that.
I just liked there was that one joke at the end about how Wayne had been with the bride. That was the only thing that
that was good.
My big takeaway.
That was good.
Otherwise, Kevin was just
Kevin got drunk.
Yes.
So we get to see Kevin kind of be a little bit of a bad boy.
Yeah, a little bit of.
It was
sort
of
bad.
a lift right out. You don't need that episode.
Yeah, definitely left out. All right, so let's see. Sex and Economics is next.
That's with the
what happened
the
in that?
attractive teacher, and he's painting her house.
Oh,
I hated this.
God.
I really hated
I
this
hated
episode.
this one too.
It made me angry.
Yes. And
I
what's
think
his face
as a
is in
teacher,
this?
Oh,
Seth Green.
Green's back.
Yep.
Yeah, Seth Green's back.
As a teacher,
what a
I
jerk.
didn't like the fact that she was obviously taking advantage of him.
And then the kids took advantage of it. Everybody was taking advantage of it.
Exactly. And I was like, I don't care. I just felt skeevy. The whole thing I hated.
Yeah.
I did like one line of it.
Oh, what did you like in this one?
I was on the fence. I'm like, it's not that great. But the last line over the closing credits, even when it went to he's like, and then the following year he put up aluminum siding. That
was good.
That was perfect.
Great
stinger for As They Faded the Dark.
Yeah.
There's a couple ones in this season where they just kind of put. Maybe they just were we need a little punch.
Yeah,
they need something to bring us back.
Bit at the end.
One little bit, and I think for me that kind of redeemed it all because it was just
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that at the end.
Yeah.
I didn't hate the episode, but
it was just cringe.
Every time
it's hard to watch.
It's hard to watch because around every corner he is getting so screwed by everybody.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like that his dad wouldn't help him.
I think it does show a good growth of Kevin of how he's willing to complete the task.
Yeah, because as we saw with the hardware store, that was an easy
He wasn't going
quit.
to do it. She basically said, no, we had a deal.
Right.
And then he was like, yeah.
But he stuck to it, and he paid, it cost him
$250.
$250.
Yep.
So, it does show that he's growing and he's willing to be more of an adult about things.
Yeah.
Even though the circumstances of him
want to.
getting into that
I think he should have paid the other kids to do it, because they wanted to do it, but I forget. They wanted more money or something.
The problem was he paid them up front, to do the
Well, yes,
work.
that was no, but
And,
his actual friends, like he asked
Oh.
them at one point too, and they all said no.
Yeah.
That should have been the sign.
That should have been the
That
sign.
should
This
have
is
been
a
your
bad
sign.
idea.
My friends are not
Right.
going to help me.
So these
There's
idiots
no
are
way I'm
going
gonna
to.
do
We
this
have to
alone.
pay them up front.
This is not going to happen.
Yeah. All right. So episode 5. This is a big Paul episode with the debate, politics as usual with the class presidency.
No, that's
No,
not the,
no,
no,
no.
that's
Isn't that what the-
No, this
No.
is
What
the
is
one,
this one?
McGovern.
This is the,
and they're working
Oh,
on the
that's
campaign
right.
against
This one-
Nixon.
That's right.
This is the
that was
one-
last season, I think.
Yeah,
was the
that's what-
yeah.
This is the one episode that is actually somewhat current events.
That's true.
Yes.
I forgot about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one was real current event-y.
Yeah, where they actually meet the
Yes.
person.
Yes,
McGovern.
McGovern. He was
Yeah.
coming to the school. And once again, Freaks and Geeks did a similar thing with the
Yeah.
Bush years.
Winnie gets really into backing this candidate, and I think
Who turns out to be a jerk.
No.
Right.
no, the candidate doesn't go.
I don't remember this episode.
So
Clearly, this went right over my head.
so Winnie is getting really into helping out and volunteering with
Yeah,
this
the McGovern campaign.
So
Okay,
McGovern doesn't actually come to the school. It's the guy that works on his campaign comes to the school.
Okay.
Winnie kind of seems to have a crush on
Oh,
him.
big crush.
Yeah.
That
Goes
I remember.
to work on the campaign. Kevin thinks it's all a ruse to get Winnie.
Oh, that's
shows
right.
up at the headquarters
Yeah,
after hours.
he's basically a
and McGovern
faker.
is there.
That's
right.
Okay.
And they all think
Very
he's going to
good.
win.
Yeah, Kevin's
Yes.
somewhat jealous. But then there's a line at the end of this one where like the guy that's kind of helping out, he was like, "Oh, we knew he wasn't going to win anyway," or something like that.
Yeah, that was a shame.
and
I do
then-
remember that.
And they
Well, I
kinda-
think Nixon did really, really well that
Yeah.
election.
Yeah.
So, but it was just like
But Kevin didn't know that. I mean,
Kevin,
he wasn't
Kevin didn't know
plugged
that.
into-
Winnie didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, and then
Yeah, they were like swept up
Yeah.
in what they thought was something real.
yeah,
And
the
it
guy
turns out it was not.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although they did say at the end of this one also that she became a lifelong liberal after that, which I thought was not surprising.
No,
but kind of
it's not
like- it
surprising
was
what we know about
interesting-
her.
Interesting that they came out and said
All right, so what's the next one here? White Lies.
This is the one where
Oh.
Winnie falls asleep at Kevin's house.
Yes, and
Nothing happens.
nothing happens,
But-
but there's rumors because he wants to be a big man
Yeah.
and tells everybody.
So I was kind of mad at Winnie here because what all he says is use your imagination, and I feel like
But you know what? She wasn't in the room when he said it, so she doesn't know what he said, really.
I guess
Like, we see
but
what he
don't you
said.
think that you would believe your boyfriend if he says,
I guess.
Listen, I didn't tell him anything. This is what I said."
But that's not what Kevin said. Like he
Kevin definitely played it off
Yes.
like they did it.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean, I understand why she's mad, but it wasn't like we'll see later on. I think it's the next episode they kind of make up. Like it was just like
yeah, short-lived.
Yeah,
short-lived
it was hard to
fight.
tell actually after watching this if they broke up, and then it seemed like
It's always hard to
then,
tell.
I know. I'm like,
We
wait,
never
are,
know
Are they together? Are
if
they
they're
not
together or
What's
not,
going
or
on?
taking
So
a
this one
break.
actually, I wasn't sure if they were still together until I think 2 episodes later. Actually.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, I guess they are together.
But at the end of the next episode, he goes back to her and she lets him come in
At the house, yeah.
That's
Yeah, I didn't blame her necessarily for that.
No, but I felt like maybe I just
There was a bit of a communication
No,
breakdown
maybe
for sure,
I'm
but
faster to forgive somebody. Like I want my fights to be fast and over with and done
Have you
yelling
not
and
seen
then go
Winnie?
to bed when we're no. She wants
she
to like
wants to fight.
belabor it
Yes.
and like have a pouty face for months on
Yes.
end. I just
Can't deal.
I'm not sure what Kevin sees in you, Winnie.
But I do think the White Lies.
She's cute. She's not cute.
All
The
right.
White
But
Lies
she's
episode.
smart. I like
She
that.
is smart.
The White Lies episode does kind of it does a good representation of
High
High
school,
school
high school
romance.
gossip,
high school
rom-
boys locker room.
Absolutely.
So I think they
Is that
Yeah.
really what it's like in a boys' locker room?
Yeah.
See, all the
Lot of-
girls are trying
a lot
to
of talk
a
about.
lot of talking
it's
about.
all get in and get out as fast as you can without looking at each other.
Oh no, guys don't care.
Yeah,
All right.
I just meant like the conversation of
But yeah.
like
No, there's no
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
It's get in and then
No.
get out. Like change your clothes and like get where you're going. All right.
All right. So next is
Wayne.
Wayne and Bonnie. Now here is the start of this big arc with Paula Marshall, who is sort of famous now, I guess. She appears in things, but
She was cute.
She's adorable. We love her. And Wayne, we find out, is dating this girl with a kid. And divorced.
I liked this. I liked that Wayne was not afraid of this kind of commitment because he's so immature all the way up till this season, and that he's like, okay, now I'm working at I'm working at Norcom.
Yeah, he's working at Norcom with his dad. We learned that, I guess, late last season, maybe.
In the mailroom and whatever, but he's not like, oh, this woman's divorced and has like he just
he like jumps
he's
in.
Okay with this.
Because I think he he was always kind of the odd one out in his family. Like, he didn't really get along with his brother that well. He doesn't get along with his father that well. I think he was always sort of looking for love from somewhere.
Okay.
And I think he found it here. And I don't think her intentions were necessarily, my kid needs a father. But I think there was something genuine there that just didn't really turn out, as the arc goes. But yeah, I like that Wayne sort of stepped up.
Well, and as we see through this season with Wayne, like Wayne is not. We know Wayne's not going like anywhere.
Yeah,
Wayne's not going into the military.
His life is Norcom.
Like this is going to be his life. He's going to be staying in this town. So he's going to be one of those people who basically gets married to somebody pretty early and does like this is what like he's going to have the. Just normal, kind of vanilla.
So why not start it now?
Yeah, he doesn't know anything else.
And Tim, you mentioned that this was, a big season for Wayne's maturity. I think this episode is a clear example of that. Is this one of your stars? Love this one.
No, I did like this one. I do think that the way that Jack and Norma respond to
finding
out was, I think maybe the relationship with the daughter and Michael kind of laid the groundwork for them to react a little bit better.
It was less of a blow up.
Like as soon as she was like, "Oh, I'm divorced and I have a kid," I was like, "Oh, here it goes, Jack," and then I was like, "Oh, wait, no." It
was just kind of
but I think there's a difference because Karen was kind of a daddy's girl and more protective. I think
it's your daughter, not your son.
And Jack, Jack has said it in other episodes that Wayne is a good person. He just needs to get kind of a jump start or whatever. And so I don't know. Maybe he kind of saw that as well. This is Wayne's chance to shine.
Yeah.
Well, and he said things don't come easily for Wayne, but he's eventually going to get. And so this is, maybe they don't think he's necessarily going to find. I mean, we've seen some of his other girlfriends.
Yes.
This is definitely the top.
Better than Juliette Lewis for sure. We love her.
I love her, but not in that role.
Not that character.
I mean, I do. They did. Like kind of frown upon him moving in with her and stuff like that, and he had to argue and state.
Well,
but then like when it was just like, well, this is what I'm doing, and they were just like,
they're like, okay, but after the whole Karen thing, what are we gonna do? And then Kevin dates that 7th grader in this one.
Yeah, I think
that was kind of a goofy subplot.
I kind of felt like I knew that was coming. Like
I do.
See, and that's how we know him and Winnie aren't together because he was trying to hang out with this girl at the picnic. And then he finds out,
Winnie
later.
wouldn't forgive him.
But they were still fighting.
But then he wins her over at the end after he sees...
At the very end of the episode, all right, so next is Kevin Delivers.
I thought this was funny.
Literally only Winnie and Kevin are in the episode. Nobody else, nobody else in the family. Paul's not in it. It's just him and his job at the Chinese place.
I started this one.
This is a great episode. It's a great episode.
Yeah.
And you're a Winnie hater. You like
but
Winnie
I love her at the end of this because she doesn't act like the spoiled brat.
Yeah. No, she understands that he's got to do.
She's like, okay,
the
this
mature
is
thing,
how I'm gonna see you.
Right.
And is it like the very very last?
She ends up ordering Chinese or something. Yeah.
And
she's the one last
delivered to the park. And,
yes.
Which I thought was cute. It's like a little, he had no idea where he was going.
Their little surprise date.
She could have had it delivered to his house or her house and done the same thing. And
but then he would have known. This was cuter.
But I mean,
a star for Tim.
I mean, it's very funny. It's very relatable for anybody who has like a job like, even though I didn't have a delivery job, I worked in a movie theater or something.
I worked at McDonald's when I was his age, and that was.
I mean, now I'm a
had
postman,
to
so
work.
it's kind of a delivery job.
Yeah,
But
different way.
I mean, I can relate to him just being like, "Oh, I'm just driving. This is my office." I can relate.
Oh
that
yeah,
now.
yeah. I don't know what
See,
Hulu
I
did,
related
but the
to
music
her.
cues in this
Yeah.
episode of
Yeah.
him just rocking out in the delivery car.
I'd have to. I don't know.
Yeah, I
I'd
don't know.
have to
But
watch
then
it.
but then there's like that one customer, like the old
Yeah,
lady.
the other.
oh,
Oh my
oh,
God!
oh,
Yes, the
the
old
old
lady. And then his
lady.
little rivalry with the
Yes.
other
Oh, that
delivery
was so
guy
funny.
But he
that he ends up dumping the old lady on at the end of the
Yeah.
episode.
And at that point, like at that, like he's like, oh, I can't make Winnie. What can I do? And I thought he was going to go spend time with the old lady, but nope, they flipped it.
Nope.
Yes,
And then
I was surprised.
They were
Yeah.
like, oh, he conned the pizza boy to spend
Yeah,
time
that was
with the
pretty
old lady.
good.
great.
That was good.
And then at the end of this one, there's also another zinger
Another
line.
good tag.
It's where he's like, I'm sick of Chinese food, which I can relate to because I was sick of popcorn in the movie theater.
Right.
And then I think so what I'm gonna say, well, how about we get pizza or something?
Oh,
Like that.
that's
And it was
right. That's
a
right.
good,
Yeah.
so-
After on the delivery, he was
Yeah.
like, "Let's get pizza instead."
Yeah. So,
I related to her because I've only had daytime jobs. I've only had office work,
Oh, okay.
camp work, or school work. Like I've never
Right.
worked at night.
Ooh, all nights and
ever.
weekends for me.
Yeah, I've never worked
My whole
nights.
life.
Nope, I've never worked nights. and
Good
weekends.
for you.
So I've done a lot of waiting around
For people that have, yes.
and having to figure out,
Understandable.
okay, how am I going to not make this person feel like crap?
Right,
when they
right.
come
When they're
home.
literally trying to make money and
Right,
make a
when they're
career
doing
and
something
whatever.
to better themselves,
Yeah.
like, not be that person. So, which maybe is why I liked her here because I'm
Okay.
not necessarily like I don't know.
You
sometimes
related
she-
a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good one. All right, so the test is next.
I feel like I don't remember watching this.
I
one.
yeah, this
This
is the
is-
SAT one.
this
It's a
is SAT.
very forgettable one. Do we even need to talk about it? Probably
'Cause
not.
this isn't. They haven't even.
Oh,
this is
I'll
their
tell you what though,
taking
you'll
it.
remember from this. This is where Jack wants to leave Norcom and start his own company.
But the guy doesn't actually. So they.
No, we
I-
do that later, but this
Right.
is sort of the seed of that idea.
No, and
in
I
this
read that, and I was
episode.
like, I just don't know if I saw that
Yeah.
episode. So I'm
All right.
wondering if
Well,
I
let's
skipped
not talk
one or
about
fell
it.
asleep.
No,
It's unmemorable.
It's very unmemorable.
It's
everybody's
unmemorable.
everybody's stressing about the SATs,
Right.
but for some reason Kevin's not.
Kevin doesn't care.
Kevin doesn't care, but
Well,
everybody
I
else
think
is.
Kevin sees that
Yeah.
all. Maybe I do remember because I feel like Kevin sees all his friends are a bunch of idiots, so he feels like he's got to do better than they
Right,
do.
and then they actually got okay scores. Or did we not find
No,
out in
we
this
don't-
episode?
We don't find the scores
Okay,
until
because I know there's that big debate with him and Winnie about the scores. All
This
right,
is the
so
Christmas episode.
Let Nothing You Dismay is Christmas episode. Norma
shocked
graduates.
that-
We love that.
that Jack is going to open a bit like it's
That
not-
always shocked me too because it didn't seem like it was in his character. But at the end of the day, he doesn't really have anybody else to support. He worked so hard at Norcom so Karen could go to college and Wayne could do whatever. Obviously, Wayne didn't choose college, so that money doesn't need to go there. Kevin's sort of paying his own way, and don't forget in the 70s you could go to college on a
Right.
part-time job. So I think he just kind of decided, let's
roll the dice.
roll the dice. The kids are all grown now. Whatever happens,
he just
happens.
isn't much of a risk taker, and
None
this
of one really.
And this really ends up being a big risk for him.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's taken all of these seen the other family members take these risks. Norma goes to college.
Right.
We've got all the Karen store. Everyone else is taking these risks.
Right.
So it's interesting to see.
This
him
is
do
his
that.
shot.
Yeah.
But in this episode, Norma actually graduates from college.
Yeah, from community college.
Kevin's
Love that.
dealing with trying
Trying
to save $100 to buy Winnie a
Yes.
cashmere
which
sweater.
I also thought was stupid. And I was
Um,
mad at him for doing that.
And then
It was nice. He wanted to give her a nice gift.
and then Jack does decide
Right.
to do the furniture factory, and then they have a Christmas dinner at the furniture factory.
Yeah, it's nice.
And
It's a
then,
good episode.
Yeah, and at the end,
I love
he,
the
gi-
Christmas
he gives her
episodes.
I do too.
the cashmere sweater.
Yeah.
She
and
gets the bread
She-
suit.
she gets
bread
the-
record.
She gets him the bread record, which he hates.
Yes.
He hates bread.
But he's a man, and he says,
And he says,
I
"Love
love
it.
it.
I love it.
Yeah, I've been wanting
Perfect.
this
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he was very sweet with it,
Yes.
and I don't think I could tell that he didn't like it.
Now, why do you hate? Why do you hate so much about this? You think he's stupid?
I think he's stupid.
All right.
Okay,
He
first of
wants
all,
to impress her. And don't forget, they just had that big fight.
Okay, I don't know if they adjusted the amount of money to make it more logical for children watching.
$100 is a lot back then.
$100 back then is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Amount of money.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Okay, wait.
So that was my first.
Okay, you know what? You're right. As a comparison, there's a famous episode of What's Happening, which took place 75 probably.
Okay.
Where this nice sweater wants to get a great nice sweater for his mom was like $16.
Well,
That's a nice sweater. Cashmere's going to be higher than that,
gonna be a lot
but
higher,
still.
And it's still going to be
Yeah,
very
I would
expensive,
agree.
'cause we've seen
That's
the
a lot.
Seinfeld
Yeah,
cashmere
I mean,
episode.
Oh, that's true.
He probably could have
That's
got
true.
a discount if they had a little red dot.
That's right. Red dot.
He needs a Sharpie. That's what he needs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know. I just felt
You
a
hated
little.
it.
It felt like kind of ridiculous to be in high school and spending this amount of money.
He wanted to prove his love financially.
I do think
My husband and I aren't very big gift givers.
No,
I got a vacuum.
this is true.
And my sister got like a trash can for Christmas this year. Like we're not big like so.
But in
I
high
don't
school,
know.
this is what you do.
I've never.
He's got
bought-
a job now.
I
Finally, he's working man.
I don't think I spent.
And he makes.
$100
Does he make him work on Christmas? Is that part
yeah,
of it?
yeah, he had to work on Christmas to save the money.
To get the raise. Yeah.
So
It was just disappointing.
and he
yes,
got the
for
bread
me.
album.
I do think that the $100 price tag is a little outrageous. For
Might
that
be a little
time
high.
period, but I enjoyed the episode.
All right. So New Year's is next.
This is Wayne
Let's see.
taking everybody out.
Oh my God! And this is the final Paula Marshall appearance. This is where we figure out what's going on with Wayne and Bonnie, and she ended up going back to the
Husband.
baby
Yeah.
daddy, right?
Yeah. ex-husband.
Ex-husband. That's right. They
Yeah.
were divorced. So yeah, he wants to take everybody out to the supper club with their nice outfits for a nice New Year's dinner.
With Hawaiian dance.
With the
Hawaiian
Hawaiian, it's a
Was
whole
it a
show.
magician, or-
It was a whole show.
Yeah, whole
Magician.
yeah.
Yep.
Jack does the luau or hula.
Yes,
something
Jack
like
does
that.
the hula. But yeah, blows up in Wayne's face at the end. This was heartbreaking
I really liked
to
the
watch
end of this
Wayne
episode, though.
with Kevin and
the
Wayne.
being at the laundromat and the kiss at the end, and I don't know. It was heartbreaking, but I also heartwarming at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great full circle episode for Wayne.
Yeah.
But it makes me feel so bad for him.
Episode, I think.
Yeah.
Like,
I think it's better than the
as
Christmas
a
episode,
holiday
yeah.
episode goes. Like,
Yeah.
I felt like this was the.
Well, and they've never done a New Year's episode.
Well,
I think for Christmas episodes, it's hard to top Coach Santa,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard to top the color TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Those are both real solid episodes. But I don't think they've had a New Year's episode.
Yeah, but this episode doesn't work as well without the Christmas episode because the Christmas episode includes Bonnie.
That's true.
Okay.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they end up watching the ball drop. Wayne, Kevin, and Winnie, and it's very nice
Well, and
and
I
cute.
love seeing. Didn't they show some of the TV footage as well from Times Square?
Yes.
I think I liked seeing that.
Yes.
I don't know. They're just I like
the authentic stuff as always. All right, so what's next? Oh God,
I hated
the
this
Chuck episode. We don't need to talk too much about this. We already know Chuck stinks,
And Alice.
and
is
Alice
worse.
is even worse. Now, Now, for me, is this better or worse than the Denise the Grease episode? I actually think that one's better than this. I think Chuck is so annoying, and Alice is 3 times as annoying.
I think I had to like tune this out. Like I was watching.
Yeah,
it,
it's rough.
And I kind of was also not watching it at the same time because it was so annoying.
Yeah.
I at least finished
Tim, what do
watching
you think of that?
Denise the Grease.
I don't mind Alice and Chuck.
Wow,
I don't
he's a
mind
fan.
them together. I kind of think they deserve
They're
each
okay.
other.
They
I
deserve
don't-
each other,
I-
but
I
like.
don't- and I didn't mind
The
this
premise
episode.
was weird.
Yeah, it was bad. This is my least favorite of the season for sure.
It's not
Tim
the
liked it,
it's
though.
not the best episode. I mean,
Okay.
but I don't think I dislike it as much as you.
Yeah, I
because
really
I
thought it was
feel
bad.
like you've laid the groundwork of Chuck
Yeah,
and Alice
for a couple of seasons
For-
now, really.
Chuck's been in the last 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Alice was introduced last season,
Yeah,
but they are. I think they are this.
though they're made for each other.
They're made for each
That's
other,
for sure.
and
I like Chuck.
Chuck's fine, but
their relationship. They also laid the groundwork for their relationship of being on again, off again.
yes,
a
All the
couple
time.
for a
Yes,
couple.
many-
I
many
think
episodes
in
have
the
shown that.
I think in the beginning of this season, But it made sense. It made sense of their characters, so I get it. And then they'll come back and be another bickering couple in a later episode, Eclipse.
Yes.
So I didn't mind it.
I think they just needed to remind
gets on my
us
nerves.
Alice, because she is important in a couple other episodes.
Yes, that's
so
true.
We'll
Moving
talk more
forward,
about that in a little bit. I think that's really all it is.
Okay. So next is the Ladies and Gentlemen of the Rolling Stones. This is a bro episode where there's a rumor that the Rolling Stones are going to play this dive bar, and Kevin doesn't believe it, but he eventually relents and says, "Okay, I'll go along with you guys to go do this." And it's basically an episode of them going from bar to bar, dive to dive.
Well, he
trying to
steals
see
the
if the
car
Rolling
because
Stones
he's
are
not
there.
supposed to
Oh,
be
that's
out.
right.
I think that's the
Jack
best
and Norma
part.
go away for the weekend or for dinner that night, and he takes the
his
car.
dad's car,
Yes.
because he wasn't allowed to move his.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Because-
wanted in that
Because he had a
exact
speeding
spot.
ticket from the day
That's
before.
right.
So
Yeah, that's how the episode starts, I guess.
And so then at the end, after they don't find the stones and the car hits, the car's been hit.
We learned that Norma actually did that.
And the guy they
before.
had dinner with has also hit the car.
That's
so now
right.
the car's now been
So,
hit 3
right,
times.
right.
I thought it was a nice conclusion.
And I think some of the damage was from Kevin, but
Maybe a little,
yeah.
but yeah. Between the three of them, who knows really?
But then this also has a great bit at the end.
Yes, it does.
Because the Rolling Stones are
the Rolling Stones turn out to.
They're playing.
I didn't like that part. I thought that was stupid.
Yeah, they
because
were
it didn't make
playing. They were
any
playing at
sense.
the first place that they went.
They're
to.
right. The first place they went to where they
Yeah.
said no, they're not going to be here. I thought that was dumb, Tim.
Oh no, I liked it.
I liked it.
I'm with Tim.
I liked it.
It's just so unbelievable.
I liked
I
it.
mean,
just
I
doesn't
had to
make any
look it
sense.
up to be like, wait, did the Rolling
Okay,
Stones
that didn't
actually
happen.
play
It
at
didn't-
a
they
dive?
made it up.
No,
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 'cause I was
they
going to
made
look
it
it up
up.
this
Yeah.
afternoon and I forgot
No,
to.
they completely made that
Oh,
up.
well,
No,
that makes me sad.
That's why it would never happen. No, it couldn't happen.
Maybe if they had
Um,
chosen a
It's
different
like
day
where's Fluffy?
Where's Fluffy?
Yeah.
I know. It's the whole episode of
Yeah.
Nick and Nora's playlist.
Yeah, but
If it didn't have those two things at the end, I wouldn't like this episode.
But
as
how
much.
about the
Yeah.
guy that ends up hitting Jack's car then at the end that they went out to dinner with is a potential client for the furniture place.
Yeah.
Right, so he has to be nice.
So
to
he
them.
has to be nice. So that part I loved. I loved that ending.
yeah, and then
But-
the guy provides Jack with a lot of business.
Right, yeah.
So it's great.
Good
It all
success
kinda
there.
Works out. I feel like there's a lot of episodes where like I'm not enjoying it that much, but then there's a couple bits
Good
and pieces
ending.
that make it
Yeah,
all
yeah.
work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they have
They
a lot of
tie
good
it together.
endings. Yes.
Yeah, they know how to. I mean, and that's
Yeah.
what I sort of said
Oh,
about
yeah.
the finale is that I don't necessarily love the episode, but as we get to the end,
Okay, so what is unpacking? That's our
That
next
is the-
his
episode.
friend.
That's
friend.
Oh,
Giovanni Ribisi.
God, yes. Oh, I love this.
This is a
love
star.
finding out
Yep.
about his backstory.
This is
Yeah,
my, this is my
man.
this is my
This
other,
is your other star because we love.
Yeah.
Look, we love Giovanni Ribisi. Everybody does.
is this him or is this
But,
the other friend?
No,
No.
this is him. This is where
they try to set him up.
unpacking. He never unpacks.
He never unpacked.
Okay.
Remember?
No. I know the episode. I just
Oh,
couldn't-
okay.
I thought it was a different actor was the friend.
No,
but
it-
okay.
No, this is the
Alright,
Ribisi.
It was Jeff Billingsley or Billings or whatever. his name
Yeah.
is. And Kevin takes him, drive him to instead
Back
of
home.
Takes
back
off of
home.
work, I think.
No,
Doesn't.
from buying stuff for his dad.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
he's
right.
supposed to
Oh,
get
that's
stuff for
right.
the-
He's
for
supposed
the
to go
roof.
get
For
stuff
the
for the
brackets.
roof.
Yeah, brackets
Yes,
on the roof.
and he instead takes Ribisi out.
Yeah,
Yeah, this was a really good one.
This was nice.
For a character that we really don't see. I mean, he's never had an episode where he's been the focal
no,
point.
but
he's
new
great.
this year,
he's
though.
new this year.
But that's what I mean. Like I'm impressed that it came off so well. Maybe it's because we know Giovanni Ribisi. I don't know.
But I think they
But-
also
Well, I
laid
think he's just a good actor.
He is a good
they
actor, we
laid
know
the
this.
groundwork where he basically replaced Paul for the
Yeah.
for
Oh,
this,
yeah.
this whole season.
I mean, to have him next to Kevin in the photo,
Yeah.
the school photo, says it all in the
Yeah.
in the opening credits. That okay, this is Paul might be a little bit out this season.
Well, and the fact that Kevin
And
blows off
Ribisi's
what
in.
his dad says to do this, I think says a lot.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that Kevin necessarily would have done that previously.
No,
He
probably
would have
not.
done
Well, I don't know. He's been doing a lot of
No, but I'm
Sort of.
saying previously. Like I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I mean, he took the dad's car the the week before.
Well, yeah.
But Kevin's also showing the effort of trying to understand why Jeff is like this, like why he hasn't unpacked, why he's like not interested in this girl, where they obviously have a connection.
And I think a big theme of this whole series, the whole show, is that everything's from Kevin's perspective, which is very narrowly focused.
Yeah.
He doesn't think about a lot of other people. We've talked about this obviously in so many other seasons, but this whole season, right, is sort of all about not just Wayne maturing, but I think Kevin kind of opening his eyes to other people's perspectives.
Yeah.
And because he doesn't understand at all at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Like, yeah.
I mean, it also shows about how sometimes people have to like have those interactions to actually get over things and let go.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't have to be relationships, but it could just be like anything.
Yeah.
Some kind of closure. Or
Some kind of closure.
And he got that closure.
Yeah.
So that was a good one. All right, so Hulk Arnold is next.
So I like this episode.
It's okay.
So
the sports episodes
are
sports. They're only okay for me.
I would probably say that this
episode.
is probably the best sports episode, though.
I like the soccer one with the
like
old coach. That was good.
It's just I think it's so funny that Kevin cannot find some kind of
he can't find anything that he likes to do.
It's so funny to me. My issue with this episode is actually the name, because it takes me out of being in the past. Because I feel like Hulk Arnold is a play on Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan.
Which has nothing to do with this.
I thought it just meant Hulk, like the Hulk. But maybe you're right. Maybe Hulk Arnold.
With wrestling,
means,
really?
You're right. I guess Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Arnold.
I didn't even think of
Arnold the Hulk. It's not
because of the time period. I didn't even think of that.
So that was my issue.
But you're right.
Not that you see episode titles when you're, watching things on TV in the 90s.
Right.
Like, it's not that. But I just was kind of disappointed that was what they came up with.
Okay, I can see that.
But I thought Kevin was really true to form with his arrogance and his...
Always with the arrogance.
Hey, he was the best one in his gym class.
Well, that is true.
But I do like the fact that
more Chuck.
He wouldn't give up against that one guy.
The perseverance
that was good.
Was great.
That was good.
And he got 1 point.
He did?
2 points.
2 points. Did you get 2 points?
Yeah. They said it was
15-2.
Right.
That's right.
I like.
So this is your favorite of the sports?
No, I don't know if my favorite, but it was Tim's favorite of the sports. He said
it was one of the better ones. I would say it's better than the basketball.
You hated losers. What about the one where Paul becomes the basketball star? That's a pretty good one.
That one's good, but for the Kevin
the Kevin ones.
I did like the old coach in the soccer.
Old coach in soccer, I thought was good.
That's where we this is better than that.
This is
didn't like the baseball one.
No. This is where we met. The soccer one was where we met Chuck.
That's right. That's right.
That's where
I think the baseball one actually is better in the New Wonder Years. The pilot, I think, was the baseball one.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'd probably put this up there with the soccer.
Okay.
But it's definitely better than the baseball.
I think the soccer one's definitely better than this.
And then it's better than...
Paul doing basketball, I think, is my favorite.
Yes.
But you're right. Of the Kevin ones, this one's okay.
Yeah. And then we had the football. Playing the football in the park with his mom.
Yeah, I guess I don't even count that because that's not like an organized sport. That was a really good one though. I like that one too.
The losers one was just gym
losers was just gym class,
but they showed the same
montage. They did the Globetrotters over and over. How about the one where they are mad because of who's being picked for the teams?
That's losers.
Is that losers? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Because Kevin gets a pick.
I forgot.
Yeah, there's a lot of
sports ones.
He's a boy.
And I love that coach. So anything he's in. All right, so Nose is the next one. Oh,
this is the
now how did you feel about this? The girl with the big schnoz. Now they did this on Seinfeld.
So here's my issue with this.
Tell me.
And not that people aren't making fun of people in high school, but they're juniors in high school.
Yeah.
And I feel like by the time
it's too late?
just a little too much for me. Like I feel like junior year is when people have enough empathy to kind of do it a little more behind people's back.
Here's the thing, though.
I think they were doing it behind their back, though.
Yeah.
Really?
And Winnie got wind of it and was mad, right?
Well, Winnie was a little upset about it, but it was
Chuck and Who liked it? Ricky Holzenbach's the one that liked her.
Ricky liked her,
I like
and
Ricky.
then
Ricky's sweet.
he noticed that they were kind of laughing about it.
Yeah.
At
And
the
I
diner.
hated that.
But then it was when she gave her speech about, because she knew that she had a big nose,
Right.
Yeah.
and then everybody laughed in class, and then that's all they
Yeah.
could see.
That part's the part I didn't
Yeah.
think was
Well,
real. I think them sort of talking trash, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And especially keeping in mind Kevin's friends all have basically, Arrested Development syndrome. They're all are immature for their age.
Yeah.
But what
Well, they
what
all have. I mean,
what
got
made me
weird
mad-
Tics and
Yes, they've all got their own
There's some
problems.
kind of issue. with each of
but
them.
yes, what made me mad at this episode was the speech and the laughing. I feel
Yeah,
like
that's
that
not
was a
real.
little bit
That's
unrealistic.
not realistic to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
at
And a
that
teacher
point.
would have been like, "Hey, like knock it
I-
Well,
off."
I mean, it had a good ending where, like, the
Great ending.
The popular kid was like, "Hey, I like this.
I love
girl.
your speech."
Yeah, love your speech."
Well,
Yeah.
I felt bad that Ricky then didn't
Yeah.
see her the same way,
Yeah.
and I'm like, really? Like, you
Yeah.
It did-
really? Like, I don't. That didn't ring true to me. Like, you already know what this person looks like. It's not like a surprise.
Yeah.
So it just was odd to me. I
Well,
don't
Ricky's
know.
an odd duck, though. I love him, but he's that actually rang true for me too with Ricky. But yeah, the part of people laughing at her after the speech, I couldn't get behind that.
Yeah.
Hated.
And the girl that played the Haley girl, she was in Mallrats, so I recognize her.
Oh, good old
She-
Mallrats.
She was the other girl
Okay.
besides Sharon Doty.
Okay.
She was
Oh, yeah.
she was on a dating show.
Right, Brody's girlfriend.
Brody.
Yeah.
No, Brody,
Right, or,
Brody's is
Her dad ran the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Brody was interest in Sharon Doty.
Oh, okay.
It was the other one. I forget his name. T something.
TC.
TC.
Yeah. All right. So Eclipse is next. We talked about this earlier here.
Because it has
They have the field
Chuck,
trip.
It's a field trip. You
Yes.
have Chuck and Alice.
Oh, that's
and
right,
then,
with the cherry bombs.
This
Cherry
is
bomb.
again where I'm mad
Okay.
at Winnie because
Winnie, I
they're
don't like Winnie in this episode. I really
they
don't.
play
I
Truth
agree.
or Dare,
Right.
and he says that she's too perfect, and I just feel like she took
hates
that
it.
way
She
too...
was so angry at that.
I
She
was
thought
like,
it was a big fat
really?
lie.
Like, we're
But what's he supposed to say? What
I
did
thought
she,
that was
right?
I
Like,
mean,
what did
like,
she
what
want
did
him
she
to say?
want him
What
to
was
say?
the correct thing to say here?
That was a perfect job interview answer for what's
Right.
What's your
What-
what your weaknesses?
Oh, I'm too much of a perfectionist.
Sometimes
you
I'm
know
too-
me.
I'm not.
I work too hard sometimes.
Right.
My faults are really.
Yeah, my fault's right.
Yes, I see.
So this one is, for me, poignant because two of the co-stars, AJ Langer and Devin Odessa, went on to star in My So-Called Life together. And that would have been about a year and a half after this.
Right.
So I thought that was kind of interesting little nod there.
I don't know. I don't know. The whole
It's
fake
whatever.
stealing of the hat, and then I didn't really steal the hat.
Yeah, that
Just the
was
whole- I
that
just-
was stupid. Oh yeah,
it
she's
kinda
supposed to be a
made
bad
me-
girl.
Yeah, she's like, oh,
She's trying to be a bad
I'm
girl
not
in this.
perfect. Look what I've done. And she didn't actually do anything. Then he's got setting off the cherry bomb with the other kid.
Yeah, I agree. I don't like Winnie in this episode.
Yeah.
I'm usually a Winnie defender, I feel like, but this one, I don't know.
I mean, I just kind of enjoyed the whole Eclipse mania because we had an Eclipse.
Yeah, we
couple
had an
years
Eclipse a few
Yeah.
years ago. I was at Hershey Park for it.
Yeah, and everybody's like, oh,
And it was pretty cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
But,
I thought. I
you know.
mean, that rang true because I
Yeah.
remember that even
In school, there was
there was one.
There was one for me too in high school, I think. Actually, probably
Oh,
around 11th grade.
I was gonna say, if you were in high school, I think I was about 8
Yeah.
when this was on. So I'm wondering if this spurred
Oh,
that
the
whole thing.
Actually, that makes sense, right? 93, yeah.
I think
that
that's
would
when
have
it
been
was.
okay.
I remember writing in
Interesting.
pen on my shoe
Big Eclipse.
what time the eclipse was supposed to happen, and I got in big trouble for writing on my shoe. And my father said, like, I'm not going to buy you clothes if you're going to destroy them. It was a huge
Sounds
thing.
about right.
I wasn't allowed to write on my clothes
Wow.
or cut them up.
Okay.
So,
All right, so up next is poker. This is poker
liked
night.
this episode.
We mentioned this a little bit because of Paul being really a wet blanket, the wettest of blankets here.
I mean, I
And
guess
just-
I understand not wanting to have cigar smoke all over me, But the way he does
he's just so annoying and irritating. This is where they're trying to plan the concert, right? And they don't want him to go or whatever. Or the trip. Ski trip. And they don't want him to go, and Kevin has to kind of, break the news to him.
Making fun of everybody's food. Like, don't eat
he's
trash.
He's a real jerk off in this episode.
Like, you're playing poker. You're going to, who cares?
I think we've all known some people like this in our day that are just they're just irritating.
I was saddened by the writing for Paul
in
this season and how they kind of made
this whole season he is kind of
he's come back from the private school as a kind of
I just felt like they kind of like were like, oh, he was one note in season 1. Let's
make him one note again.
Yeah, make him one note again.
They Monica'd him.
A new note.
Yes.
And I'm just like, okay.
But
they Monica'd him. Monica, she's a clean freak. That's your only character in season 10.
Yeah. Season 1, she's a slut.
In season 1, she's right, exactly.
So I did like some aspects of this.
It's not a bad episode. I hated Paul's
Jeff
character.
Jeff is accused of cheating.
That's right.
And then he allows the one, I forget his name, is it,
see, this is
is it Billy? Is it, no. Randy.
Oh, yeah, Randy.
Randy's always a loser.
Oh, and Randy's been in it for years.
I think he's been season 1.
He might have been since at least 2, maybe 1.
But Randy's here. He's failing math.
Yeah.
And Paul makes fun of him for that. And he's feel like he's always a loser.
What a jerk.
And in the last hand,
Jeff lets him win. Yeah.
And then it's great closing because Kevin flips up the cards. He has 4 kings, but then he flips over another. There's 5
king.
Yeah,
that was a great tag.
That was
a great tag. Yeah.
Chuck. This is what I meant by Chuck and Alice. This is where he thinks that she's pregnant and she's not.
That's right.
So yeah.
Yeah, and then he gets a lecture too.
But that is the 5 kings.
The 5 kings is that is one of my favorite tags.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and
a good
I think
one.
again, this episode doesn't necessarily. I don't say not work, but I don't enjoy it as much until we know for sure
how it all plays out.
How he. It's not just he won one or he let him win.
Yeah,
but he's obviously cheating.
Right, he's still cheating.
But I mean, it also did he let him win? Because how can he flip over his hand and have 5 kings?
Well, you just flip over your 4 kings. I got 4 of a kind.
So
and they assume the other one's like a 7 or something.
Yeah.
But all right, so we like that one. Next one's Little Women.
This is the SAT results.
This is the SAT results one where the men have to prove that they're still men
by taking
them bowling and beating the pants off them.
Because Norma got a job.
That's right. Now that she's a college graduate, she's got. And then, Winnie gets this great SAT score. Yeah. And Kevin is feeling insecure. Jack's feeling insecure.
But Kevin had a good SAT score anyway. It's just that
it was better than mine.
Winnie did
fine, but Winnie's was way better.
Yeah. Well, and I think Kevin was feeling pretty good about himself because he beat the pants off on his friends.
Yeah.
His friends are dope. Right.
I actually had a similar score to Kevin.
That's pretty good, dude.
But all my friends were like Winnie.
Oh. So how did you feel? Did you get mad? You said, let's go bowling?
No, this is the thing. I wasn't mad because I don't have delusions about who I am.
You know that they're right.
Like, I know these people are smart. The fact that they're in the 1400s is like, okay,
that makes sense.
The fact that I'm in like the 1200s.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes. Right. Kevin's friends all get like 800s, and so he's like, I'm hot S over here.
Do you think it was more that he was offended that she beat him, or do you think it was more him thinking she's going to go to a school that I can't get into? And this
I think it's that I always took it that she was beating him. But I never thought of that.
Because it was the two different things
combined.
No, I think it's different. She wouldn't tell him.
Yeah, that's
and so she assumed he was going to be upset.
Right.
And I think he was offended that by the fact that she kept it from him. And he was convinced that he was smarter than that and had done better. And then to have that all turned on its head.
Her, like, come on,
like,
dude.
he really thought she did poorly, and that's why she wasn't telling him.
Right.
And then be like that. It like blew his world.
Oh, it's okay.
It's
SAT
not-
scores on everything. Like,
yeah, it's the fact that he didn't.
Did he make a comment about going to a different school?
No, she was getting literature from the library teacher.
Oh, that's
or
right.
the library. About
Yeah, the
Ivy
aid
schools.
about right. Okay.
And
I
that was
didn't know
when
that
he
didn't
thought
occur to
she
me.
had
That's a
done
good
badly.
point.
Still, he didn't know her score yet.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
then he was like, "Wait, what?" And then that's how everything came out. Was
Yeah.
like that, her score.
How about the
I don't
the
remember
bowling
I
part?
don't remember the.
You don't remember the bowling part?
Oh.
Oh, they were so excited to beat the pants off the girls at bowling.
Yeah, they went guys against girls, and because Norma gets a strike,
Right,
And then
at first.
and then Jack's like, "Okay, guys against girls," and then
But then she stinks the rest of the
and
time.
then they just destroy him.
You might not remember because it's real, like, toxic male.
It is very toxic.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's
Maybe I had to block it out.
but
I just had enough.
to
of
be
it at that
honest,
point.
it's not Jack's best look.
No.
Okay.
Why would he say? Why would so? I feel like if my partner does well, I'd be like couples. Like,
Dude,
I'm not,
because
I mean, maybe this is maybe
Well,
the toxic
it,
guy.
it
but
was
I
a
don't-
man. It was
well,
a man.
thing.
It was a pride thing.
Yeah,
I
because
think.
she's got a job,
Right.
And I think it.
He's been the only breadwinner in the whole family since.
Like it's
Well,
good,
he's struggling because he's not. He's paying himself
Yeah.
now for the factory.
and it's a good starting
So
wage.
he's paying
of
himself
that-
if he's
at
paying
all.
himself at all,
Yeah.
so she's actually become
Yeah.
kind of the
So
breadwinner
it's
after this.
starting good wage at,
Yeah.
the thing, and then she has, it was like a higher position than like just like a secretary. Or something.
Yeah, it was like a pretty
So-
good position.
Yeah.
So-
Well, and they thought she was going to be a secretary.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
were shocked.
So it was like a bunch of that issues.
Right.
But I think this does have a good conversation at the end. I forget what the conversation is, but with Winnie and Kevin kind of like
Yeah, it
in the
ends
car.
okay.
Yeah, after the whole bowling
After
thing.
everybody's a jerk off
Yeah.
to the girls. Yeah, I didn't care for that part. But all right, so reunion is next. I really liked this one. This is we
I liked seeing
know nothing about the history
of Norma. Yeah, I love.
or Jack really. I mean, even when in the Karen wedding episode when he says, "Oh yeah, it reminds me when I took your mom across the country from her family."
That was a great.
We never do
segue
that,
to this.
like and this is sort of the follow up, I guess, to that, where there's a family or a school reunion, and she is meeting up to go to the reunion with this old flame of hers because Jack ends up throwing his back out or something.
throwing a potato sack race.
And you
that's
can
right
see
to
the
prove it
parents
again, prove the manhood.
pushing her towards the
Yes.
other
Oh, yeah,
guy
they
the whole
always
time.
wanted
was
But
a
he-
doctor.
them to be
But he
together.
did resist for a really long
He
time
did.
before agreeing
Yeah.
to do the potato
You're
sack
right.
race.
But then he felt threatened,
Yeah.
masculinity threatened again.
But I loved how he was like, "Yeah, go ahead, take my wife," and then we find out why, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I love how confident.
Oh God,
Jack
the end is so
with his
Yep.
relationship with Norma.
Yes.
It just made me so
That's
happy.
a crier for me.
I might have cried.
last
I can't
scene.
And
remember.
he's
That's a
he's
crier.
letting the father-in-law beat him in gin the whole time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can.
He knows how to play.
He
these
knows how to play
people.
everybody.
Yeah.
He knows how to play everybody, and we all know he doesn't suffer fools.
Classic Wayne here going around doing.
That's right.
Tallying.
About the will, right?
Yeah, tallying
Right.
all
You
the-
kids get all this.
Now
What? We
this
get
is
all
definitely more old school Wayne, I
Yeah.
think. Sort of
Well, I mean,
a little immature.
a little
here,
immature, but I mean,
funny for sure.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
My
right.
sister and I know we don't tally things up, but like we'll be at my parents' house and we'll be like my parents don't want people fighting after they pass away,
Right.
and if nobody wants any actual stuff, we want like random crap.
Right. Well, you brought up just the other day to me your grandmother's old Ritz
Oh, yeah.
tin. That there was a huge family fight
There
about who
was. They
gets
all
it.
wanted the tin, the cracker tin
Yeah.
that held the Oreos,
Yeah.
and so I was just like, well, I'm gonna buy myself
Right.
one. I only want the memory.
Right.
Yeah.
So we'll be like, we'll like have discussions and be like, yeah, you get that double-headed cow
Oh my
picture
gosh.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like very matter of fact, which is kind of morbid, but it's. I don't
little
know.
bit,
it's
perhaps.
sort of it sort of diffuses things. This is a whole other level.
I mean, he's literally right. He's
and-
got the adding machine
It's,
and
you know,
putting
dollar
stickers on
signs.
things.
My sister calls
Yeah.
it dibs on a lot of things.
Does she?
Yeah, she's like, I got the red Santa boots.
My parents are big on not ever buying anything, so all their stuff is like 30 years old.
Oh,
Well,
no,
that's the thing,
this stuff's all ancient.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
but it's for the memory.
Yeah.
It's the memory.
The
or
red
just
Santa
like-
boots
Yeah,
are just
I
these
guess
Santa
we don't
boots
care.
that are ceramic that come
Oh,
out like,
okay.
every Christmas. Like
Wow.
they're like this decoration.
It's funny,
Yeah.
I did take, when my grandparents died, I did take a few things and nobody seemed to care, fight me on it. Like, yeah, but they were just sort of memory items. Like,
Yeah.
oh, grandma had that on the, end table or whatever.
This is my grandpa.
Yeah, nobody seemed to care. Oh, okay.
When
so you
my
got that.
when my
I
I have a distinct memory, like after my mom's mom passed away, like so I was staying there for the funeral. I slept on the couch, and I woke up to my mom and all her siblings sitting around a table, and they had like all this heirloom stuff, and they had an order that they
Like
were going
auctioning
around.
it off, or they were
had
like
a
a
they
round
had,
robin.
Yeah, they had an order that they could go in, and it's like okay, I'm gonna take this.
Oh my
okay,
God.
it's your turn. It's your turn. It's your turn.
It's like picking a sports team.
Yeah, it was
Oh my gosh.
like which item do you want to pick?
Wow.
And like
was just a little more of a free for all, and my
Yeah.
uncle threw out everything else, and my mother never even got to go
Oh
in that house.
wow.
It's kind of it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
But so the kicker here is that she wanted to get out of this small town.
Right,
and not
right. The whole
be-
point of her leaving with Jack was to get out of
And
the way, and
the-
she didn't want anything to do with that guy.
the ex-boyfriend, yeah, that her parents still want her to be with.
Right.
He's,
Over Jack.
Yeah, but she's like, yeah, he's still.
Yeah, she's like, he's the same person.
Yeah, he's still a conceited jerk.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah, I love the tag
loved
scene
it.
on that. All right, so then we get to the finale. The 2-part finale aired the same night, but it's in 2 parts, Summer and Independence Day. So Winnie and Kevin on the outs again. We know this. She goes to this big fancy club.
They start together.
Well, they start together.
Yes.
She goes off for the summer to this lifeguarding job at this fancy club. He ends up surprising her and following her there.
Well, he's working at the.
Because he's doing the Chinese place, right?
No, he's working
Where's
for
he working?
Dad. At the,
Oh, that's right.
And he's getting
At the
micromanaged
furniture.
by.
Oh, and he hates it.
He's getting micromanaged by Wayne
Yep.
and his dad.
Yep.
And so he hates it, and he quits, and
And to be honest, he wasn't paying much attention.
well,
He
yeah.
kept messing up the,
Yeah.
the furniture that he was
Yeah.
trying to
Well,
make.
it's not, as he says later, Wayne was always meant for wood. This is obviously
Right.
not something
Right.
that is up his alley.
But you know what, though?
I don't know what his up his
Here's the
alley
thing,
is,
though.
let's be
He
honest.
was really looking down on
The whole
both
thing.
of them.
Yes.
Both his father and his brother in this
100%.
episode. And, I'm better than this. I'm
is my
better than
summer
you.
job.
This is my summer job. Yeah, what a jerk.
I was not pleased with Kevin.
No.
This
How
whole
about
thing.
the whole episode?
No,
But-
so
Where he goes up to the
But,
thing.
and then so also Chuck and Jeff, they're going on a cross country thing.
Right. He
He's not-
obviously
he
can't
wa-
do
he
that.
wants to go. He's not allowed to.
Right.
And then so he leaves. He does his own thing.
Yeah.
And he surprises Winnie.
We think he's going to leave, but they just need his backpack or something, right? Wasn't that one of the gags?
I don't.
They show up at his place in the morning, and we think, oh, he's going to ditch out, but they really just need, like, his
I don't remember
something.
any of that.
All right.
I don't remember that. But he goes surprise Winnie, and then at the end of the first
Yeah.
part episode,
We see that she's
well,
with
he,
this
he
lifeguard.
he wins a big pot against the
Oh, that's right, the-
against,
playing band.
against the
yeah,
band.
kitchen, oh, band, that's
The man
right.
in the kitchen. He bluffs and
Yeah.
he gets a big pot and he wants to go tell Winnie, and she's kissing
And she's
some other
busy
guy.
making out with the lifeguard that he already was kind of worried
Yeah.
about. So then, okay.
Which again, he's up there,
Yes.
and this is what she just like I don't. It's just, what are you doing, Winnie?
I thought
Like,
Winnie was being a little bit of a
Like,
jerk in this
Yes.
episode as well. I agree. But to be fair,
he never should have followed
he
her there.
never should have done that.
Yeah.
That was silly on his part. So then we
Episode 2.
flash forward to episode 2.
He-
He's in poker again, but then he loses everything,
He loses
including his car,
including
his
his car.
job.
Yeah.
Uh,
And then he quits, walks. He
Punches the guy.
punches the guy, the
Yeah.
other lifeguard.
yeah, which ends up getting Winnie fired. So then the two of them are
Wind up
Hitchhiking home.
hitchhiking,
home.
end up in the same car. Hilarious.
So I actually had seen this episode before, and I
Okay.
vividly remembered this whole hitchhiking thing.
Okay.
And for some reason, I thought this side of the road scene and was like first season or something. I had no idea
Oh,
this
yeah,
was the
late.
finale.
Well, you had said to me the other day that you remembered actually a lot of these episodes in this season.
Well, not necessarily the full episode, but I was like,
You
this
remember
is
bits and
familiar.
pieces, yeah.
There were a lot of things that seemed familiar, and this in particular seemed like I was just like, I know this. The whole basically from the hitchhiking to the end.
Okay.
I was like,
So then they get stuck.
They throw their luggage in the street.
The street. They get that gets
yeah.
destroyed. So they end up spending the night in this barn.
The
idea is that they lose their virginity to each other now.
My question is that what the is the
they
point?
they have
Because
said in the commentary that yes, that is
what you're supposed to assume.
What you're supposed to assume.
Okay.
ABC obviously at this point in time with an 8 o'clock show
wasn't
about children was
even
not
though
going
Paul
to do that.
could lose his virginity to that girl last season.
Yeah, because he wasn't the
like,
star of the show. I feel like,
and he was like the moral compass of the show.
I know. Listen,
it was really frustrating to see him.
But yes, apparently they weren't really allowed to.
Okay, no, that's fine, and I was okay with that, and I liked that it was just.
But I think part of it actually was what's her face, Danica McKellar's mom as well was
that's
against.
No shock.
She was against.
I liked that they insinuated that.
Yeah. Yes, I thought it was. I thought it worked out
realistic.
fine. I think we all assumed that's what happened.
My question was, I didn't know if that was actually because when you read, it'd been so long. I went and read some synopsis of the end, and it does not insinuate that.
It doesn't.
In the description, it just says they go in the barn and they say they always want to be in each other's lives, and that's about it. It doesn't say anything.
Yeah.
About
well, it is heavily implied and it is confirmed by the producers.
I did watch the commentary, not the commentary. I watched
some of the bonus,
just to make the making of the final episode.
Okay, yeah, that
where
was cool.
They were talking about how in the script it says Kevin when he have sex.
Yes, but that's crossed out, right?
But
the final script didn't say that. I think, right?
I don't know, but then all the parents were upset.
Yes, Danica McKellar's mom was not having it
for some reason. That they thought they were going to be like
showing it.
Be showing it. And they were going to be nude together or something like that.
Yes,
and they're like, no, it's good.
Right.
It was very tasteful.
It's done tastefully. Yes.
It's just poignant and lovely.
Very tastefully.
And I don't even think do you see them kiss or maybe
they kiss?
You see them
but
kiss.
all their clothes are still on.
No, but
I mean they're wet.
I couldn't remember if he goes in for a kiss or you see them kiss. But I think you see them kiss and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's lovely. It's just
lovely, and they decide they want to
even
be
though
I
am generally against high schoolers having sex, I just want to put that out there.
They're still in high school. You're right.
I just don't love that.
Right,
graduate high school.
Summer before yeah, but it's realistic. It's a real show.
I understand that. Meanwhile, I was waiting for my first kiss, first year of college. Still, so I just feel like it's good, get all that out of the way. But I understand.
Yeah, and I don't think they're necessarily even promoting it.
No,
really.
No.
But yeah,
it's more for.
But it happens, and I think the fans all cheered and said,
"Well, I think
oh,
you're
thank
waiting
God.
for it." It's
6-year buildup of this.
If you read about the episode where they imply that they have to the boys,
to the school, yeah.
It says it's a 6-year relationship. I'm like, they haven't been together for 6 years.
Like, this is not.
It's not a 6-year.
Well, I would personally call it a 6-year relationship.
On again, off again.
Yes, on again, off again for 6 years for
you
sure.
wouldn't even say that.
But I'd say it was probably more off again, right? Than anything. All right. So anyway, they finally
go home.
They get back for this Independence Day parade. And I will say that the actors did not know at this point that this was the last episode. Nobody knew what the voiceover was. So no one knew at the end what we now know that, we talk about Jack dying. But that was recorded way after the episode. So the actors did not know until it aired.
Well, and I think that makes sense, at least for filming it.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make any sense for them to have any of this knowledge.
Right. Josh Aviano said all he knew was, like, Paul shows up at the end and says, like, hi to people, and that's all he knew. And same with everybody else, but...
should we tell everybody
we find
out?
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
We've spoiled everything else.
We've spoiled every episode so far. But yeah, so they talk about how in a few years from now, Jack dies. And this really, I think has not just been a show about Kevin, but it's really been a show about the two of them together. It's the father-son show. This is why those father episodes are so great. I've seen this finale at least 4 or 5 times, and it's huge waterworks every time.
I knew that was the one thing that I did remember, like, for sure.
Right.
And I think it's a great bookend to
It really
Winnie's,
is.
brother dying in the first episode.
Right. Oh yeah.
At the end of that.
Yeah.
And
then we see Kevin kind of talking about his future Kevin, Daniel Stern, talking about his own kids and his own family and what he learned, and sort of updating everybody. You guys watched that last 5 minutes ago, so let us all know what ends up happening.
So
start with Paul.
Paul goes to Harvard and studies law, and he's still allergic to everything.
Right. Which Josh Saviano became a lawyer in real life, so that's kind of cool.
And then you go to Karen. She's pregnant at the parade.
That's right.
That's
right. She shows her belly,
with
right?
her son.
Which it seemed like she was announcing to her family there, because Kevin's shocked.
Kevin didn't.
Or maybe she was just
shows up.
Well, he just rolled back into town.
Yeah, maybe.
So he doesn't know.
Or maybe because she was showing the belly, but maybe it's the first time that she was showing.
Or that because he's seen her, because they've been living in Alaska or something.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So
and then you have Norma. She
businesswoman on the board, and
like something like a board and stuff like that. She's very
board
successful.
Of directors.
Then you have Wayne. Wayne stays working for
the
furniture company.
Right.
Wood was always in his nature, or something like that. And then he winds up taking over the company for Jack
when my dad died.
2 years later,
which seems fast.
Seems fast.
So fast. Well, because when you think about it, that means he's going to be like 19. Yeah. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah. And then talk about Winnie. Winnie goes to Paris after they graduate, and they keep their promise. They write a letter to each other every week for 8 years. But then he's there to...
Oh, God. I'm getting so choked up, you don't even know.
He's there to welcome her back with his wife and son. Who was like 6 months old at that time or something.
Yeah.
His first son.
His first son.
Yeah.
So he has more.
Yeah.
At least.
And then after that, that's all the voiceover. And then there's a shot of Kevin talking with current day Jack. He's like, oh, good fourth. He's like, you're going to be a grandfather now, or something like that, with gray hair, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then
we see the neighborhood.
Talks about the neighborhood, same streets, same towns, everything. And then there's I think it's played by Daniel Stern's own son.
Yeah.
Where he's like, hey, you coming, Dad, or something like that. He's like,
to play ball or something.
To play ball.
So, by the way,
1 second.
that took him about 25 takes.
Yeah.
Really?
He couldn't do it. You saw that in the thing.
He was getting
promo.
choked up. He couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, and then he says, and then this is where he comes back with the line of, I look back at those years with wonder.
Yeah, with
and I'm
wonder.
just like,
Yeah. Not the first time I've cried on my channel, but yikes.
So, yeah.
It always gets me.
So,
it's a perfect end to the series.
Yeah.
I don't think the entire episode is perfect.
No, I really
And it makes me mad about Winnie, and it makes me mad about Kevin, but I think that last, 5 minutes or so.
I starred this episode as my other star.
Well, I would hope.
But
really, it's the last 5. It's the last 5.
It's the last 5 minutes. It's like...
I'd venture to go farther than that. I love the fight. I love the...
Well, part 2 of the episode, I guess.
Once they leave the place...
Yeah.
I like seeing all of this kind of... We're finally having it out, because...
Yeah.
Finally... I can't slam the door in your face.
Right. They finally have it out.
I'm stuck with you here.
And then
she's never stuck. You know what I mean?
That's
she
true.
always just closes the door in his face, and then that's it. And he's like,
"That is her MO."
What?
Yeah.
So I just you got to see it all, and there was closure for everyone.
Yeah.
And it wasn't 15 years to get there.
All right. So the second half of the hour-long finale then is great.
Yeah.
I mean, but the first half,
it leads
everybody's
up.
a jerk.
Yeah.
I know, but you need it, right? You need it to get there.
Yeah. It's like maybe the last 15.
Last 15, we'll say. Okay.
One of the other lines in the voiceover was like, "Oh, me and my dad, we patched things up." Like, because that
right.
Was,
at the beginning of the episode was the big fight.
So before they went and said, "Hey, Jack died." Like,
right.
Also acknowledged the fact that they patched things up.
Tim, you're the only one who didn't know that was coming. You love the Jack character.
It hurt.
Let's talk about the
hurt.
impact here.
Yeah.
No idea.
No idea. I did know that Winnie and Kevin weren't going to make it together because
you knew that, okay.
someone spoiled that for me.
I'm sorry.
It's,
Was it you?
It was
During,
not.
Oh my
during
gosh,
taping,
I
was like,
forgot.
no, they don't
Yeah.
end up together.
I forgot
But
about
I
that.
thought that was something that we knew from reading a synopsis. Or I didn't even remember that, honestly.
Yeah.
I thought maybe...
Tim never saw any of it.
I couldn't
No,
remember.
I mean,
So,
it would be
unrealistic.
unrealistic,
Right.
but I mean, other shows have done that. So,
Sure.
like,
Boy Meets
What
World.
happened
actually.
to
Boy
real
Meets
life?
World.
Ben Savage.
But yeah, Jack.
What a gut punch.
Jack dying was a
Probably
gut
why
punch.
they did that.
Actually, yeah.
People
wanted
were
that.
not happy,
Yeah.
and they said, Ben,
yeah.
you've got to do it over again.
I don't know. Like, it kind
For
of
your
like
brother.
made me a little angry at the show for that.
Really?
Yeah,
For killing him.
I mean, they did it off camera too. 2 years later.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like. But it made
Well, you
me,
wouldn't have wanted the show
Oh
to
my
still be
gosh.
on when it
No,
happened.
yes.
I think that, yeah,
Oh my
I feel like that
God.
would have been so much worse.
We've been
Yeah.
through that before with people.
So many
Yeah.
people.
So many people.
Yeah. So
I don't want to say the character, but
Yeah.
they killed
So-
somebody on Grey's Anatomy. I sat
Oh, no.
in the middle of the
Not
couch
this
and
again.
bawled for hours.
Yeah,
An
so-
hour.
Was it
I-
Denny? Was
I'm
it
not
what's
telling
his
you.
face?
I don't want to spoil it
All
for
right,
you.
yeah, all right.
So
Well, we know
Someone
Roseanne
dies
died.
in that
We know
show.
Roseanne died.
so
That was
Well,
one.
they had to change the show.
They had to change the show.
They had to
So
change the whole name of the show.
it hurt. I mean,
Yeah.
like I did not see
It
that
was rough.
coming. But I did watch like I said, I watched the making of this episode, and they said that there was a line or a conversation when they were building a treehouse together about how and probably the voiceover Kevin, Daniel Stern's character, made a line of I don't even know what the comment was, but it was like it made it seem like Jack.
Yeah, I forget who said that. It might have been Fred Savage that said
No,
that.
I forget who it was, but it made it seem like
He had. Oh,
Jack-
I think you're right. I think it was like Bob Rush or one of the
yeah,
producers.
one of the producers. It
Yeah.
just made it seem like Jack died
Had moved
died
on.
when Kevin was kind of youngish.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's what
I forgot they said
that's
that.
why
Yeah.
they went that route,
Yeah.
which makes sense.
I will say for people that are fans of this show, and God knows if you're watching all these videos, you must be. Get this big box set. Time Life put it out. I was able to
This
get it for
is
like
the
$100.
only time
This is the
they've
only
released.
official release with all the music, but all of the commentary tracks and the bonus features. A lot of it's pretty repetitive. There's like 20 hours of interviews, but it's a lot of really, really interesting stuff. But yeah, that when they break down some of the stuff in that final episode. Now, people have been pissed for years about them not being together at the end. People still come up to Danica McKellar and say, "Oh my God, like why weren't you together?" Da, da, da. I personally think that was the way. Like you said, realistic.
I don't think they belong together. The amount
They really don't.
of
They were horrible together. It turned out
fighting that they
Yeah.
did over stuff that was ridiculous.
ridiculous.
And I don't think they have anything in common.
No.
She is going to Paris to study art history. Can
Does
you
that seem like
picture
him?
doing
Him in his dumb Jets
anything
jacket.
ever?
Well,
I mean, just
prior to them
Tim?
saying
Nothing.
prior to them saying that she went to Paris to study art history, I would have never imagined Winnie going to Paris to study art
Right.
history.
No,
So,
I actually
like-
think
Right.
that was not. That was believable.
I mean, I
really-
believed it when
Made
they
sense,
said it, but in my mind,
that wasn't necessarily where you were going
Yeah.
with it.
In my mind, because I know Danica McKellar is big on math, I thought she would have done something with math. But
I don't think anything
like Josh
in the
Saviano's the
show
lawyer.
Yeah, I thought
showed that would be.
No, it really
you know what
didn't,
I mean? Like,
except for her
she-
high SATs.
She was just.
Yeah.
She was very smart. She was very,
Very smart.
girly.
yeah.
Like she was not into the sporty
Yeah,
stuff
she was.
at all.
It-
It just for the time period. Also,
Even in the intro
like,
when they're
it
playing
just-
baseball, she's sitting there on the curb.
Yeah.
She's not playing baseball with them.
I don't know. There's just
So
something.
Once they said it, made like it wasn't like I didn't believe
Right,
it.
right.
Like, but it like
what indicated it
Yeah,
really?
nothing
right,
really
nothing.
indicated.
she's not
for
a
me.
hippie
Yeah.
enough to go the Karen route.
No
with any
way.
Of this.
No way.
You know, even though she's liberal, McGovern,
Yeah, very-
whatever.
very women's
like
lib.
it just I don't know. It just really fit for me.
Yeah.
I'm more curious about what did Kevin get to go decide to do.
Have a family.
He has a family, which I
And
feel like that's
we love
realistic.
that.
That's not shocking. I'm curious if Wayne
As to what
actually
he
had a
did.
family. I'm thinking maybe he didn't.
No, I don't know. That's a good question. We didn't talk about
now
it.
the company is kind of his family,
Yeah.
and he's running it at. If it's 2 years later, he's only
Right, he's only 22, maybe?
yeah, like
21, 22?
I think in those 2 years he probably met someone. and got married.
I always kind of thought
Because
that,
I
yeah.
feel like
that's how I envisioned it.
the Bonnie relationship. I mean,
Yeah, especially how quickly he jumped.
into
into
that.
and
Like
loved it.
they showed him playing with the kid.
that's true. He
and
seemed to like that.
He excelled at
he
being
excelled
a father
in
figure.
trying to be
yeah.
a father. So I believe that he would have probably.
I guess
settled
with
down by
3
then. That's
kids,
2 years.
sometimes you don't necessarily.
Yeah.
They all seem to be getting married and having kids,
Yeah.
and I feel like I don't always see that when you've got multiple kids.
Well, in the 70s, though, that was the thing to
kinda
do.
like- yeah,
Everybody got
that's
married
true.
and had kids.
Yeah. No, you're right. But again, Kevin doesn't. Not that he's bad at anything, but he's not.
He's bad at sports. We know
It's
that.
just-
Right, he's bad.
He
at
wants
sports.
desperately to be good at sports, but he's not.
He's bad at sports.
He's mediocre at sports.
and he
Mediocre. I picture Kevin just doing some kind of office job like a
Norcom
Norcom.
kind of thing.
You know,
Okay.
and that's kind of
I mean,
how,
he went to
how I
work with the
envisioned it.
dad. He kind of seemed okay with that. It wasn't. He didn't seem like he's not a math whiz. He's not.
No.
He's not going to be a doctor.
Yeah.
Sciencey stuff. Like,
I
don't
think
see
he
that.
worked in an office at a cubicle or whatever, or
Okay.
push papers or whatever.
He's not a creative
an average.
type, if it makes
Well,
sense. You
and
know
look,
what I mean?
this guy is the average Joe. He's everyman.
Yes.
I think he went on and just had an everyman
Experience.
kind of job in life. Yeah,
I feel like
don't
he's
know.
probably living in a suburban neighborhood,
Yeah.
just like he grew up in.
Yeah,
Listen,
makes total sense.
aspired to that,
in-
so I'm not
Somewhere
offended by any
in
of
the
this.
New York,
Yeah.
Pennsylvania area.
No, it's not offensive.
Even though, unfortunately, in the last
Yeah.
in that last
In the
neighborhood
big area.
scene, we have to
You see a
look
palm
at the,
tree again?
No, but you see the mountains in the back. You see the
okay.
California
Damn it.
mountains, like the LA,
Yeah,
like
they
not
couldn't-
skyline.
they
You know what I
couldn't do
mean?
it.
Like the mountainous. And
Yeah,
I was just like, God damn, they had to really
yeah.
show it just like that. They couldn't. I don't know.
All right.
Still
Well, as a
upset about
wrap,
that.
all-time favorite Wonder Years episode.
Oh man, I probably should have reviewed
My
that.
two are the pottery and the goodbye with the math teacher. Those are my all-time 2 favorites. I think they are some of the most brilliantly written shows of any show.
I might have to look.
Yeah, look them up.
I do feel like the goodbye with the math teacher
Ugh.
affected me the most.
Yeah,
I feel like I was.
that one I feel like you needed the build-up though of the 2 previous math.
It was
teacher
definitely an
episodes.
arc.
But
It was
the
not
pottery's
a-
so good. I'm gonna get. I think Tim's might be the one where Jack gives Karen his kit.
Oh, that was so good.
That was a really
Is that
good one
Goodbye?
too. No, Goodbye's the math teacher.
Okay.
I think the one where he gives Karen his army bag was.
That's probably was that season 3?
I don't know if it was. Season
I don't
3.
have. I don't have my.
It might have been.
I didn't write down.
Oh, that's right. Season 3 was the one you didn't.
I
do.
didn't write down season 4. I didn't write down.
See, you're smart.
Okay.
I deleted them after we did each one.
So
You-
I
you've got all yours
I
under
have
the,
I have Treehouse
Your
star.
Treehouse is good. All the Jack episodes, I think, are your favorites. Too.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
You can't really.
I mean, every season had at least 1 or 2 that
Tough,
like
tough,
made me
tough.
cry or hit me really hard or whatever.
Yeah.
But
And
pottery, I always think about with among the
Pottery
best
will get
episodes.
you nowhere.
And then goodbye.
I also, I mean, it's not a great episode necessarily, but I do like when I like the wedding actually when
The Karen and
wedding.
Schwimmer wedding.
Well, they walk down the
Okay.
aisle of the same thing my parents had at their wedding. I think that's nice.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that's a good episode. How about when we first meet David Schwimmer though with Jack?
I love when
That's
they're
a
at the
great
house.
episode,
That's
too.
great.
I I wish they had brought David Schwimmer in for the
finale.
With
Yeah.
That would have been nice, I guess, with Karen.
I think he was doing a lot of movies in '93.
He might have been hot into the movies at the time. Yeah, it would have been a year before Friends.
Yeah, and he was supposed to be the big name in Friends, wasn't he? Like he was, like they kind of were.
Well, I think Courtney Cox probably was the big name because of Family Ties. But yeah, I mean, certainly most of them were complete unknowns.
Both of them were
they were the
top,
hot tickets. Yeah.
But it would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
It's also realistic for if he's working in Alaska.
Yeah, if he's on the pipeline, I don't think he's coming home for a parade.
And also back then, it would have been really typical for her to go home, depending on what she's doing with her work, if any kind of work, go home, have the baby, and stay with her mom for a while.
Right, yeah, that's true.
My grandmother did that for like 3 of her first pregnancies. She would go home to Vermont, which is like 5 hours away. And
of course, Norma's a bigwig now. So who knows if she can even take the time?
Well, we don't know how big of it's comptroller. I don't know how big that is at that point.
I guess that's true.
But then he doesn't say she's board of directors 2 years later.
No, that's true.
I picture Norma. Yeah. Norma seems healthy. I think she's going to be
10
around
years down the line. This is what she did.
More
yeah,
years.
That's true. I guess.
I think I would go with the math teacher one. I really can't
Goodbye
think of another one.
And I believe it was an Emmy winner. I think we talked about that.
This really, this show really did sort of change the way you could approach a sitcom, and we've seen a lot more now.
Yeah,
since then,
in a lot of ways, because you have the no laugh track, no studio audience stuff. You have that regular one camera setup that is very common today, but it was very funny still.
Yes,
and very dramatic.
The narration. The period piece.
Yeah.
A lot of these were not things people were doing.
No, and when you look at all of the shows that came later that I specifically keep mentioning, Freaks and Geeks, My So-Called Life, even the Goldbergs, these are all, basically trying to ape exactly what this show was doing. Did you find one, Tim?
No, I probably would agree with the ones that you've said. I like the Treehouse,
I will say the pottery one. I always forget what happens in that, so it's not. It definitely that's a.
Norma wants to take a pottery class.
No, I know, but I'm saying it seems to me more personal to you. I don't think it feels.
People do love it though.
I started.
Tim started.
It wasn't one that stood out to me.
Okay.
The other ones we've mentioned are.
And then in the first season, the one I liked the best was the one where you go
Take Me to Work. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
And how he ends with him looking up at the stars with his telescope.
Yeah, which they brought into the new one as well. Did you see that?
Yes.
I think it was 2 weeks ago or something. They had a telescope.
So yeah, most of mine are with Jack.
Okay.
So I think that's why his death hurt me so much. But it makes sense with this has always been about Kevin and Jack.
It really has.
It makes sense.
It makes. And it's sort of a slow. Yeah, it was they sneak it up on you.
Yeah,
that's why.
It makes sense that's why we're learning about all this stuff.
Right.
Because he's.
Because who did he learn to be a father from?
Yeah. Well, and I think it's the father-son.
Yeah.
I was reading something online. Someone said recently oh, it's all mothers and maybe this is what we were talking, mothers and sons and then fathers and daughters.
Yes.
And I was like, it really doesn't, it isn't.
It doesn't
always.
have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, it isn't always.
It was definitely mothers and daughters, or at least my mother, it's mother and daughter. It was not a daddy's little girl thing.
Right.
So we've seen that, but the father and son dynamic, I don't get to see a whole lot, and this is really
No, you're right. That is a rare, I'm trying to think of other TV show examples, and I don't even think it's that common.
So I like that. I think we're seeing it. So I watched This Is Us, which I know people are either hot or cold on.
Yeah,
and this
Tim's
week
caught up,
they did
a couple seasons
Four
back,
Fathers was the episode, and it was fathers interacting with their children, and I thought it was really. It evoked a lot of these same, I was feeling a lot of the same things, and I don't know if it's now because being a parent, I'm feeling more emotional watching things and feeling the other side of things.
Could certainly be, yeah.
It's been very interesting to have a new perspective.
Yeah. Well, we should grade this season. I guess we never did that. Season wise, I would give this a B+. I would give the finale an A+. But I think overall, this was not among the best seasons. But we're sort of out of the Wonder Years. Like that's sort of why they wrapped it up here.
I'm gonna give it overall maybe an A- because I felt like I liked a few of these more than some of the more than maybe the previous season, which I think I was more in the B range.
Yeah. Season 5
but I'm
was
also going to go A- on the finale, because if you're saying the finale is that whole hour...
Oh, if we're saying the whole hour, okay. Yeah,
or
I guess
that
that's
whole... True. Or even the whole... Even if you want to go the second half of it...
You're right,
really
I guess. All right,
feel,
A+ is too high. You're right.
I really don't feel like anything except for the actual conclusion is an A.
All right.
To me.
But like Tim said, you need all that build-up.
Yeah. I understand.
What's your grade for the season, Tim?
Season... probably B+.
Yeah.
Probably A- for the season finale.
For the finale, all right.
The last 15
How about that
minutes,
last 10 minutes?
The last 10 minutes is like
Woo!
A+.
A+.
I mean,
one of the best, one of the best epilogue conclusion finales.
Yeah,
I've
when you
ever seen.
when you think of the finales of shows, that last 10 minutes packs a punch.
But I will say that they have it a little bit easier to end a show with a great voiceover, because the whole thing has been a voiceover. Where if you had a voiceover, let's say in Friends,
then it wouldn't make as much sense.
It wouldn't make as much sense.
So we had a voiceover in Roseanne, original Roseanne.
Oh, that's right. Hated
and
that.
people did not care for that.
Yeah.
And did a lot of the same things of telling you what people
did. Yeah, but Roseanne also twisted who was who. And, Becky married David, and said, that was all stupid.
But
shit.
I feel like they have
that.
it all set up that they can do a great voiceover.
Yeah.
Where if you have a show that doesn't rely on voiceover, then you.
What about How I Met Your Mother? Because people hated that finale too. I forget what happened. I remember what happened, but how did the
whole thing is not
with voiceover. But the whole thing about not liking the season finale of, or the series finale of How I Met Your Mother was because the whole last season was bad. And it was all about one weekend. It was all fun.
Oh, that show!
It was not a good season in general. I didn't mind how they ended it with How I Met Your Mother, but they could use the voiceover, and they did. And it wasn't out of...
But don't they also then stop it and then go into actually current life? Because I actually
is that what happened?
I've watched a lot of the beginning, and then I watched the actual finale. I didn't watch the whole last season, so I don't know.
Spoilers for the How I Met Your Mother finale.
But I think there's voiceover, and then it stops, and then they
it's
different as well.
Yes. But the way this show's set up is that they can do... where are they going, what happens, without
update
showing
us,
where
which makes sense.
We're 6 feet under, they show you.
Yeah. Or in Superstore, let's say, they didn't do that, they just kind of ended it, and they did it really well.
Okay.
I do think the Superstore series finale was one of the better ones, and they
don't tell us
I
what
won't say
happened.
anything, but it was in kind of where it fits and wasn't overstretching itself.
Right.
But a lot of times...
Yeah, it makes sense because this is a show looking back on the past that they can sort of update us and fill us in on everything.
Other shows, let's say Seinfeld, people didn't like that.
Hated.
People didn't like that.
But
I thought it was fine.
People hated it.
But they didn't like it because they try to bring so many people back and they try to do that.
You wanted them to bring Schwimmer back for this. That would have been nice.
It would have made more sense than what they did in Seinfeld.
Yes, it would have made more sense than Seinfeld.
Because the Seinfeld one, you could do that episode literally.
I know.
Yes. So I'm just saying,
Tim,
it's a great series finale.
Yes, we know this.
They just were able to do a lot with those last 10 minutes because of how they set up the
Now, how do you feel that we made you watch this 6-season show? We said, Tim, you're doing it. And you said, I guess.
That's what I said.
Tim is a trooper on my channel. We know this.
It's a good show. Is it going to be in my top?
It won't be in your top 50. You've already told me that.
It's not going to be in my top 50.
But
it's a good show.
Happy you watched it, though?
Happy I watched it. I would probably give the whole series. Probably B+ as well, because I
think that's low.
Most of mine were in the B+ range. I had a couple in the maybe season 3 and 4 were
Yeah, season 4 got a little rough sometimes.
well, maybe it was season 3.
No, 3 was the best one.
3 was great.
Wasn't
3 was
3 we
great.
said was an A?
Yes.
3,
Loved it.
I
was
think I gave
yes.
that an A or
Yeah.
an A minus or
3 is
somewhere like
great.
that. So a couple of them got in the A. Some
Yeah.
episodes were in the A range, but for me, most of it were in the B plus range.
Okay.
I
think this. Yeah, let's hear you.
Yeah.
I have my grade.
Well, you're the host.
Yeah.
You should go last.
I'll go last.
I'm gonna go A minus.
Okay.
Because I haven't finished my top 50. This is the problem.
No one's finished their top 50. We're gonna do top 50 shows on my channel. No one's done.
I think it may just miss the cut, and I think all of my
Oof.
shows that are in the top 50 are gonna be A's for me.
Okay.
I gotta think about it a little more,
Yeah.
but I think that
I firmly believe this one will be in my top 50. Probably in the upper half. I'm gonna give it an A minus as well. But to me, I'm sure taking everything into effect. My top 50 is full of A minuses too, because I feel like very few shows have full like A seasons, A plus seasons. It's hard to do. Most shows do taper off. So for me, I echo the A minus for this series on the whole.
I kind of think about it as if it comes
think
on, am I
definitely
going to
fades a
keep
bit.
watching, or am I going to flip? Am I like, I have to stop and watch this, or am I going to flip the channel? I'm not going to stay unless it's an episode that I really want to
Okay.
see.
So, me being a single grade underneath you
Yeah.
gave you a.
Well, because Tim, I know you just hate it so much.
I didn't hate it.
No,
It's just that
Well, how many other
no,
times for this channel have you done series versus movie?
This is the first time we've done a full series.
That's why it feels
Yeah.
like homework to you,
Yeah.
because you feel like you had so
Yeah.
much to do
Well,
before you could get to this.
No, I
moment.
guess my
So for me,
Yeah,
it wasn't
tell
the fact that it felt like homework. So sometimes
No.
I'm not going to say that was in my grade.
Yeah.
I just felt like for me, the biggest thing is for me is I'm an adult looking back at this show, and I just get angry.
I watched it as a kid.
I know I get very angry at Kevin sometimes,
That's fine.
and I feel like it just takes me out of it a little bit.
my
I think if
upsetness is not even your grade. It's just that you're not putting it in your top 50 because I've watched, hundreds and hundreds of more shows than you, and yet it's in my top 50. So it hurts my heart a little bit. Boy Meets World will be though.
Yeah, but
Probably
when you
Boy
compare the
Meets
top
World
50,
will be.
we're gonna see how
Yeah.
much you have in common, and it might not be that you like or love
No, there
the
might
same
be a
type
few
of
things
show.
in common. I think.
I don't know if Boy Meets World will be in line, but
It
it
will not
might
be in
be.
mine.
No, I've seen
I'm
like
just,
2 episodes.
I'm just saying that for me, I watched that when I
But that was
was
your
his
era.
age,
Yeah.
so I connect.
And I was Kevin's age. when
and
this
you were
first came
Kevin's
out.
age, so
Yeah.
you connect with
Absolutely.
the character more.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's my disconnect.
I almost gave it an A, but I think A minus is probably fair because the last seasons 5 and 6 dip certainly in the quality. All right. Any other thoughts? We've talked it to death.
I would love
Yeah.
to be back to review something else. So
Yeah.
if we
You know what
find
we actually
something-
should do is since you and I have been catching up on it, at the end of the new Wonder Years, we should review the whole season.
Absolutely.
Because we got a good response on the pilot.
Oh, nice.
But yes, we should review other things. Tim's always on my channel every other week.
Yep.
We do West Side Story. We do all the Disneys.
Yeah.
Many other things. But yes, this is actually
I'm
the
too
first.
busy rewatching Law & Order SVU.
You're watching Law & Order. This is actually the first full series that anybody, I guess, has done. I mean, Joe did Freaks and Geeks, but that's only one season. We never ended up finishing The OC or Hannibal. And Roseanne, I did all by myself, except for you came on with the last season. So, all right, new experience.
You guys have done Dead to Me.
Oh, Dead to Me.
I guess, but I'm thinking
It's
of like
also
I'm thinking of a long running series. But yes, the camera's running out anyway, so that will do it. It is still recording, but all right. So thanks everybody. Thank you guys for joining. Pleasure as always.
As
Tim,
always.
we'll see you probably in mere days with something Disney.
Yep.
Melissa, yes, we'll get you back on very soon.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And thanks everybody for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.